Hi there, welcome back to the Cardiff International Arena. Next up, Niels Feijen against Fabio Petroni. Petroni 7-1 ahead. We join it in the 9th rack.
Everything's rolling his way, but he's lost the cue ball behind the rack. And the 3 ball is way down on the other side of other end of the table. Here you can see the white ball coming down table. It should be going up table at this point.
And he's putting some pasty into the break. Sorry, calzone into the break.
Not happy with that effort. He's got to weigh up a safety shot here. He'll be probably looking. Well, he really has a couple of options here, Sid. He can send that cue ball down behind this wall, or he can use that 7 ball on the right-hand side of the table to duck behind. He's chosen the 7. Didn't quite get there, I believe. I believe he's left Feijen a shot.
Yeah, but it's not exactly a tapperoni, is it? This is.
Feijen cannot continue to wait for an easy shot. He's got to take on a toughie and get control of this table. He does have a wall down there to hide behind. That's going to tempt him to attempt a safety, but if he doesn't get that safety, he's giving the match away.
So can he trickle the red leftward and put the white way back beyond the head string?
Yes, he can, and that really is a bit of a two-way shot there, just as you were saying. And that's what I think he should be doing. He's got to hope this ball goes in, and if not, play it so that maybe Fabio won't get a shot.
But again, that's the schizophrenic mindset that might make a mess of it either way.
Well, he's gone for the pure safety, and he got it. But as Nick Varner said, you don't duck your way into championships. You have to shoot your way there.
Yes, Fab, well, thinking about Massey or...
No, he's going for the jump cue.
Yep.
And the way things are going, it wouldn't surprise me for him to make this shot.
It is a thing of beauty. You loaned me that for a bit of filming we were doing that jump cue. It feels like a Stradivarius. A beautiful wood, the back portion of that. An artistic device. Fab's cue.
That's a Coca-Cola wood butt with a maple shaft.
Well, Darryl Peach, who's coming up next, made one of these out of his granddad's walking stick, and it was banned in the Lancashire League.
Well, now, this is a long jump. He's got to get some height on this ball. And he made it.
Oh, everything's rolling for the Roman. Fab on fire in Cardiff.
Feijen trying to play a conservative game, and it's really hurt him. The last few racks. And he says, yes, indeed, of course. I make all those.
Yeah, the very little celebration by his standards. If he had been in the mood of 20 minutes ago, he might well have done a lap of honor.
Well, if the 5 ball clears the 6 into the corner pocket, this rack should also be over. Oh, he's getting too close to his work.
But I think that little snidge might have just helped him. I think he might be on the 6 after this nudge. You're right, it was not what he intended. No.
No, he's got to do something with this 5 ball. He'll send it down table. Put the 5 behind the 6 or the 8, whichever one he likes more, and attempt to put the cue ball behind the 7. He could have Niels hidden 2 ways here. That arm obviously not bothering him at all. Very, very comfortable out there. Look at this shot.
Well, I don't think Houdini with axle grease and a hacksaw could get out of this one.
Well, from the angle that we have here, the only real escape for Niels is to come down this way and kick back. Now, he may choose to go 2 rails and kick it this way, but either way, a lot of bad things can happen for him.
That was Texas understatement, kiddo.
He can really open this table up and turn it right back over to Petroni.
Fab sitting 7-1 in the lead. Needs this one and just one more.
Boy, Fabio's really had everything go his way, but he's had this man hand him a lot of opportunities.
Correct. Made a couple of very key wrong decisions, which my Texas expert next to me has picked up. Once he was aggressive when he shouldn't be, and vice versa.
Well, 9 ball's an aggressive game, and aggressive play will pay off more often than not.
Here we go. Bad things could go happening here. He did it nicely, but where's going to be the end position? Oh, that looks bad. There's enough space to work the angle for the pot.
Whatever Fabio feels comfortable with. Also, the 8 ball is sitting so very closely. He could drive the 5 to the rail, put the cue ball behind the 8, and frustrate Feijen even further. He's had a look at both of those options now. That's what he's looking at. He wants to put that cue ball right there behind the 8. Meanwhile, the 5 ball will drive right over to where he had that piece of chalk sitting on the table. Just a little nip shot here.
Nip shot, the jargon for in and out in one move to avoid the push shot.
Taking his time. Critical shot. Doesn't want to give away. Oh, boy. That surprises me that he kept that much distance between the cue and the 8 and that he drove the 5 out that far.
Yeah, he's not happy with it. Dead right. He wanted another roll of 3 inches up toward the black.
I think his arm may have tensed up on him a little bit on that shot. Obviously not the result he wanted. Still, he did get a safety out of it. There is no direct shot on the 5. And now Niels has had to pull out his jump stick. We're having a little jump fest.
Here he goes.
He has to get height here. It's nearly a full
down.
ball jump. And he's jumped off the table.
Disaster. Feijen flayed at the air in frustration with his stick.
Here you take a look and see it just bounces right off of the 5 ball and onto the rail and then to the floor. Hard to hold your composure in that situation.
Wheels coming off the windmill for the Dutchman.
I think you can stick a fork in him. He's done.
Meanwhile, things for Fab's gone from Bella to Bellissimo.
He couldn't have written a more favorable script for a match on the show table.
Here we go. Got the angle he wants on the brown 7 to make the pot and draw, leaving an angle on the black 8.
His only concern here is not to be blocked by the 9 ball. You'd be surprised how big a single ball can get in this situation. And he played that a little close to the vest, Sid. He's there, you can tell by the grin, but he knows that was close.
Only one sort of ball he's thinking of, Jerry, and that's the one with dancing pumps later.
You know, with all these facial expressions, if he ever gives up this game, he can make a darn good living as a mime.
And then Marcel Masson.
Indeed.
Here he goes, middle bag to the hill.
Fabio on the hill, Feijen in the pit. The game continues. He's got one down. Let's see how the one ball sets up for him.
Oh, sets up a dream, I'd say.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Look at that two ball over by the side pocket. He's got the first two shots of this thing as gimmies. Look at the way this table sets up off the break. Wow. Ball's going down. One ball's going to park itself by the corner pocket. Two balls going to go over and sit by the side pocket. Sometimes the balls just know who's supposed to win.
That's right. He's been blessing himself. He's got rabbit's feet in his pocket. He's been chucking coins in fountains around Cardiff. And he is about to take the match, you feel.
He needs to just slow his normal pace down just a hair here so he doesn't let any careless errors creep in. Study every shot very carefully. This is no time to do anything rash. And what would be rash would be to try to carry him off that three, to make the three and try to carry him into the 9.
Don't think he'd even think of that, given the easy path around the 9.
No, he's cueing high, so he's going to avoid that 9 ball.
Sure is.
Doesn't want it to be too close. He'll be happy with this. Again, he doesn't need to work any tricks. Just try and keep the cue ball as close to the current position of the 6 ball as he can. That'll give him a shot on the 7.
Yep. Feijen has twice or thrice taken the wrong option, particularly the non-aggressive option when Fab was 4-1 and then 5-1. And Fabio, like you just said, is using discretion.
It's a draw shot off of the 7. You can see the angle that he wants. He wants that cue ball to hit just about on the diamond to the to your side of the side pocket and then spin up table. He wants to stay away from that side pocket with the cue ball. Needs it to stop.
See, it's like butter and ice, that pitch. What looks like a great shot, because we're in a split second just roll into a nightmare. And he's looking at the path to victory.
Indeed, Sid. 2 more deliveries of the cue stick. And he'll be back tomorrow.
Meanwhile, he can go Roman in the gloaming tonight. Have a bit of spaghetti amatriciano, a couple of glasses of mineral water, and then back into the hurly-burly tomorrow. If he's negotiated the path to this 9 as accurately as it looks.
Imagine the adrenaline that must be screaming through this young man's body. As simple as this shot is, he's going to take his time.
Still trusting to somebody high above the lights. Cue the Italiano. Fans.
Nine-ball pool's ultimate prize is drawing nearer. By the end of these matches, only 16 players will remain. Who'll stay? Who'll go? You can find out next. Hi there, welcome to the Cardiff International Arena as we bring you highlights of Day 6 of the Hasseröder World Pool Championship 2002. This is how it all works. 32 players remaining in the competition. This second phase is a straight knockout. It's a race to 9 racks and the winner breaks each time. Well, this is what we have to look forward to. Oliver Ortmann against Tony Robles. Efren Reyes, the magician they call him, against Dennis Okolo. Jeremy Jones, Double J, takes on Torsten Holman. And Steve Davis, a 6-time World Snooker champion, up against a talented Ching Shun Yang. Let's join the action between Oliver Ortmann and Tony Robles.
It hasn't been a convincing performance by Oliver Ortmann, and should he get through, which it looks like he will do, I'm sure he'll say that he needs to play better should he win the tournament. But every match is a different day. And once again, Oliver not having the best of the break.
You can see it here. The 1 ball and the cue ball look like they're going to set up.
Take a look at this 5.
And well, the 5 ball rolled right up in the way. And now Oliver has to consider a kick or a push. Yeah, he's in the lead. He can afford to play conservatively now.
Looks like he's going to leave the right hand side of the 1 past the 7, somewhere down by the 9. See where he's got his cue there? That's roughly where he wants it. Would probably mean that Robles would be forced to play a side to side safety, although he didn't make that bottom cushion, so that makes it a bit more of a safety shot. The shot here, perhaps, that Oliver's tempting Robles with is to put him back in, and Oliver goes off behind the left-hand side of the brown 7, off the bottom cushion to try and leave a safety shot back. Perhaps not. That's just me thinking too strongly ahead in this game. But if he clips this 1, he's going to push it over the corner pocket. Surely he's going to play around the left-hand side of the brown 7 with side spin, no?
I agree. He's got to go to the left of the brown, come back up, and of course he's going to prove us wrong.
Perhaps he can play with draw and miss the in-off.
I don't like that choice. I think he brings the scratch into play.
If he can play enough draw, if he can hit enough of the 1 ball, he can draw past the middle pocket. He may be able to thread the 1 ball back between the 5 and 7. But if he could get enough side spin on and get off that back cushion. Is that the top cushion or the bottom cushion, Jerry? You are completely confused with this head string, foot string lark.
Well, see, we don't use top and bottom. We use head and foot, so I'm not going to...
So is that the foot of the table or the head of the table?
He's shooting from the foot of the table toward the head.
So that's not the top of the table. He's got his cue now. That's the bottom of the table.
That's the foot of the table.
Oh, dear me. Oh, this Atlantic has got us completely confused. Well, that was a good safety shot, although, of course, he did push that 1 ball towards the corner pocket and relied on a safety behind the 4. Has he got it? What's he putting his finger there for?
I don't know. Unless he can see that 1, it doesn't look to us like he can see the 1 ball for a shot.
I want to know what that finger on that part of the cushion is going to do. Is he going to play cushion first, hit the 1,
Well, I think that cushion first is asking an awful lot of the cue ball.
I've got a feeling if we look at this that he could play off the side cushion with spin, hit the 1, and send that cue ball round off 3 cushions and hit exactly where his finger was pointing. But he's collided with the ball, has he?
Oh, and he's cleared the 2, so Ortmann's going to come to the table with a clear shot.
Well, that was an effort, that was very close to being... if he could have seen that much of it, he may have been able to pot the ball, though. Could he have potted it down the rail instead of playing the safety?
Well, if he could hit it like that, yes. And Tony needs to remember at this point that when you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you have to do is stop digging.
Well, at some stage you've got to lash out and try to change the course of the match and try and change the flow. And that was a very tricky safety shot to be playing. Open table, Oliver Ortmann 7-3. Must be fancying 8-3 here, and with the break off it could all be over in the space of 5 minutes. And Tony Robles' last shot was a gamble, and it was a safety gamble, not a potting gamble. Efren Reyes versus Dennis Ocolo of the Philippines. Two great Filipinos up together on our match table next. Okamura under pressure. Dominguez out.
Ortmann has missed the 4-ball. Here's another look. He drives the 4-ball into the cushion much too early. But he's certainly gotten a great roll here.
Frustrating day for... It's, well, it's nice to be frustrated 8-3 in front or 7-3 in front, but as the experience of Oliver will know, that he's just giving Tony Robles enough chances to get back in this game and turn it around. This is a tough shot he's playing here. Oh, what a great try.
But on every try, he's leaving Ortmann in the jaws here.
He's just committed suicide, but it was a great try. So about all he could do was to try that swerve and try and make the 4-ball.
Yeah, but you know, trying that shot, he brought the scratch into play. He brought this situation he wound up with into play.
But at least he tried to pot the ball. I think that was aggressive, and it had to be at some stage. He's got to make some sort of waves in this game. Yeah, Oliver's had a frustrating game, as I say, and he's winning it quite convincingly, and will be even more convincing after this 4-ball clearance. And he doesn't want to get too upset with himself. He's played quite sound tactical play. Missed a couple of pots, we can all miss those. And he gives himself a chance to win the World Championship here at Cardiff. He'll be down to the last 16 should he convert this into a 9-rack winning advantage. It's great to see Oliver back to some sort of standard after taking a bit of a sabbatical for a couple of years from the game.
Well, Tony may have no opportunity to come back to the table. This break has produced an easy opening shot and a layout which Ortmann can certainly master.
That cue bending off the break there. Oh, he's rolled another one. Has he got it?
That.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Boy,
He missed it.
Boy.
Well,
I was about to say, as long as he doesn't do any more left-handed shots, he should be comfortable with that one. Nearly came up and hurt him.
He's got a relatively easy screw back off the side cushion, drawing back across for the 4. 5 has got to be manoeuvred into position unless he can play the 5-8 combination.
Well, I would think he would come down toward the foot end of the table and just take the 5 up on the side into that side or the head corner pocket.
Well, he's got an angle on this 4, and it's debatable whether he can or does want to avoid contact with 8 or 5.
I think he'll drive through the 8, and well, you're right, he will separate these two balls with this collision.
Can't guarantee exactly how this is going to work out.
Well, it worked out fine. Uncomfortable bridge here.
Yes, the 8 won't stop him from potting the 5. What it will do is it will stop him from killing the cue ball dead and making the 6 an easier option. He's got to run through. He'll try and play this as slow as possible to stop this cue ball running too far forward.
And he does have to consider the foul. He cannot touch the 8.
Okay, thanks very much, Oliver. You've just played the worst shot of your life, mate. Well, he played to leave himself straight on the seat. He's just had a laugh at himself there. It's the best way. It's the best thing to do sometimes. He's played. There was an angle on this, so he's thought, because there's an angle, I can run across the table and leave this straighter. And he's talked himself into playing a shot he probably didn't need to play. And now he's looking up and thinking, what on earth have I done there? You soppy fool, what have I done? But
well, unless we see a miracle shot, Tony gets to come back to the table after this. He may come back to the table with ball in hand. There's a lot of distance off the rail to that 6 ball, so the angle of error is just tiny.
Do you know, this game is so strange. You know, he's 4 or 5 balls away of an easy peasy win, considering how much of a problem he's had. And there's another problem arise. He's now got to suffer. Perhaps Tony Robles winning this and then winning the next break off the winning the next rack off the break, and it's 8-5. And well, it looks like very much like it's going to be 8-4. Say Robles wins the next 2 after winning this rack, it's 8-6, and he's still got the break off. Oliver's going, why on earth didn't I just roll that through? What am I doing trying to play advanced positional play when there's easier options?
Like we say, there's really never enough distance between you in racks to be comfortable. The other player can always come up and string racks together.
I do know, Jerry, that when players want to play like a big match to try and guarantee who's the best player, perhaps if they're playing a money match in the States, they don't play a race to 9 or a race to 17. They play the player to win by 10 clear racks, and it could take all day.
Right. I saw a one-pocket match, a race to 8 ahead, that took 4.5 days.
Well, yeah, so it's open-ended, yes, but Robles keeps in the game. It is now winner breaks in this tournament, and should Tony Robles be able to control the break and make 5 perfect breaks and runs, he could turn the tables on Oliver Ortmann. It's a big ask. He hasn't actually shown that type of form yet today.
Well, he hasn't really ever gotten into it, and he's got to remember that negativity will not pull you through in this game. He's got to get on the positive side. Here's a look at his break. A lot of power going into that rack. Ball's flying everywhere, and it does set up for a first shot for him.
His break's been very controlled. He hasn't had the best of leaves, but this should be a gettable shot. He's got to do something now. He's a last gasp, so there's in some ways nowhere near as much pressure as there was in the early part. I would expect him to make these balls.
I would too, and you're right. What he needs to do now is just wipe the competition out of his mind, pretend he's in his basement practicing and running racks. He's just got to get something going, get some racks strung.
So he has a basement, does he?
Well, I would assume he lives in New York. There are a lot of basements in New York, and that's where you put your pool table.
Bit of work, especially if he's dead straight on this 4. If he's lined up on a dead straight line here, he has a very difficult shot to draw the cue ball back out into position on the 5. He's got to jack up in the air, get backspin on the cue ball, unless he can play cushion first. Cushion first, drop the 4 ball in and come out into the middle of the table. That's about all he can do. Didn't want to be playing this, but should get it.
Cushion first, and he's missed the 4. That should be it.
That's a misjudgment. That you know, if you're going to miss that shot, you've got to miss it thick. You're still going to pot the ball.
Exactly right. You've got to miss it so that it doesn't wind up sitting in the jaws. And well, he's put the gift wrap on the box here for Oliver.
Well, he's lost his ring craft here today, Tony Robles. It's not that he has had that many chances, but the chances he has had and some of the delicate shots he's had to play, he hasn't converted them as best. On another day, things would be different. We'd be talking about Tony Robles as the true champion he obviously is, coming second in the BCA Open recently, one of the biggest tournaments in the world of 9-ball, and has won many tournaments in the New York and Brooklyn area. But today has not been his day, and so much the start of a match didn't go his way, and he really hasn't got his arm going all day long.
And that's the way it goes sometimes. He had a great day yesterday. He won his match 9-1, so perhaps things went a little bit too easily for him. And they sure didn't go easy today, the way those racks were opening up so tough early in the match. And
well, Oliver Ortmann coming up a little bit betwixt and between on this round 7, but I'm sure that he hasn't got a natural scratch into the opposite corner, and in making this 7 with a bit of left-hand side spin, he should be able to either screw across a table or come round the angles for ideal position on the 8. 3 balls away now for a place in the last 16 for Oliver Ortmann.
Well, you saw him tap the table where he wanted the cue ball. He's a bit up table from there, but I just don't see any problem here. Well,
collision with the 9, the only
collide
problem.
With the 9, yeah.
Soft collision, and as long as he doesn't scratch in the opposite corner, would line the balls up quite nicely.
Just as you said, Steve. Oliver Ortmann about to put the finishing touches on this masterpiece, and he's defeated Tony Robles 9-4.